the success of Aquaman in 2018, the DCEU once again continues with the latest DCEU movie, Shazam. And after watching it through, I actually think this one's pretty good. There will be spoilers ahead here, so be warned. Continue at your own risk. Shazam focuses on the adventures of a 15-year-old kid named Billy Batson, played by Asher Angel. He was lost by his mother at a fairground at a fairly young age, and has subsequently kind of been in and out of foster homes for most of his life. His main goal just being to kind of find his mother. But he eventually gets sent to live with kind of another foster family that includes kind of several kids, including a disabled kid named Freddie Freeman, played by Jack Dylan Grazer. While Billy's main role throughout most of the film is still to kind of find his mother again, after he defends Freeman from being attacked by bullies, he ends up on a train where he is met by a mysterious figure, a mysterious wizard known as Shazam, who kind of says that he has chosen Billy Batson as a champion in order to kind of be a world defender, kind of to imbue the magic that he has. He kind of rather half-heartedly and maybe a little sarcastically takes on the role and subsequently becomes like a superhero known as Shazam. Whenever he speaks the word Shazam, whenever he says that, he turns into the superhero played now by Zachary Levi. And while he is kind of trying to get to grips with all of his kind of superpowers, he ends up alienating his kind of new foster family, sort of. But he kind of just wants to kind of make a name for himself as Shazam, but also try and find his mother. But then he also has other problems to do with those being in the form of a new supervillain named Dr. Savannah, played by Mark Strong. Okay, first of all, one reason I think why this movie works so well is because if you took the superhero stuff's good, the superhero stuff kind of takes over the edge, but if you took all the superhero stuff out of the movie and just made it about a foster kid who kind of wants to track down his mother, but then ends up kind of having problems, but then kind of bonding with his new foster family, I think this you could still consider this a pretty good movie. And that's what I think makes it good, in that if you took out the superhero stuff, you still have a good movie, but by adding it in, you've got one that pushes it over the edge. I mean, the movie is very kind of comedic and has some very good comedy moments, which I think was the right touch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love kind of all the kind of movies in the DCU so far, but then they've always been kind of dark, especially towards the beginning of the series. Ones like Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and even Suicide Squad was maybe a little overly dark. But here, there's so much colour, it's bright, it's inviting, and just, it works very well. But I think the strongest character in this movie isn't actually even Asher Angel or Zachary Levi. The strongest character, I think, in this movie, the one that I kind of saw the best of, was Mark Strong as Dr. Savannah. Now, Dr. Savannah doesn't have kind of as much name recognition as maybe some other villains in the DCEU, such as everyone's heard of Doomsday, of Joker. But we know quite a lot of kind of DC Universe villains, and Dr. Savannah, maybe he's not that high on the list, but we've all heard of Ares. But he does it very well, and Mark Strong isn't a stranger to comic book movies. He was Sinestro in 2011's Green Lantern movie, and for the past two movies has also been Merlin in the Kingsman movies, one of my personal favourites. And he works extremely well in the role as Dr. Savannah. Basically, he was kind of a kid who was kind of invited to take on the powers of Shazam, but he didn't prove himself worthy. He kind of gave in to greed, and in searching for the kind of magic again, he ends up bringing a new kind of magic and essentially summoning the seven deadly sins. And he commands a strong presence. He literally dominates any scene he's in. I mean, you'll kind of just have him there, and they even, towards the end of the movie, they also do a scene that kind of takes inspiration weirdly from Kung Fu Panda 2. You got Mark Strong and Zachary Levi. They're about to have a big battle. Then Mark Strong launches into a monologue, but then he's about a mile away, and Zachary Levi's just like, "What? What? I can't hear you. You're like a mile away. Oh, are you doing a big evil villain speech thing?" And that to me is just brilliant. I think my favourite part of the movie is kind of, once again, kind of towards that moment. There's also kind of a big final climax. Freddy realises what he has to do, kind of takes the staff from Mark Strong and says to his family, kind of, "Hold on! Hands in!" They all kind of do it, and "Speak my name and you will gain my powers." Like, Billy! Like, no, I say this guy's name in order to become this, the name I say in order to become this guy. I mean, that for me was just hilarious. The one kind of minor criticism I give about it is its kind of placing, in that the movie has been released this month, i.e. in April, and just, if you look at it, kind of, it's a Christmas movie. I mean, most of the movie is set around Christmas, kind of the family trying to bond with Billy around Christmas time, and even most of the final battle takes place in a Christmas carnival, which, yeah, just, I mean, maybe they could have swapped it with Aquaman and have it actually be coming out around Christmas. But yeah, I'm glad we got it, and I do think it's a very funny movie. It's got some good action scenes. It's got some great characters, and I do feel it's a good movie. I mean, I would have also liked to have seen more interactions between Billy or Shazam with some of the other foster kids before the final battle, at least. But you get some good interactions with Freddie Freeman. You get good ones with the youngest, who's very hyperactive, and you also get one who's about to go off to college. But then Shazam has a scene with her where she's been accepted to college, but she doesn't know if she can leave her family now. But yeah, I do wish that we'd also gotten some with the other kids. One of whom is a very the very techie one, and the one who's just like. So yeah, I maybe would have liked to have had a bit more time with them as well, but the movie for what it is very good. And I do feel it's a ton of fun, it's a good DCEU movie, and I think they finally struck a right tone. I don't know what movie the DCEU has got up next, I'll have to go and take a look, but yeah, I feel this was a good one. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's not as good as, people say Man of Steel is. I personally have never been much of a fan of Man of Steel, but apparently other people consider it a masterpiece, so I don't know if it's as good as something like, say, Wonder Woman, or possibly as good as Aquaman, but, yeah, well, it's pretty good. I'd say it's a pretty good movie. Yeah, well, I'm glad it was added to the DCEU. Yeah, we'll have to see what they bring out next. Until next time, see ya.